Greetings, everyone. We hope you are okay wherever you are. In Johannesburg, it was raining in the early hours of the morning, though now there's some sunshine outside, but it rained. We hope it will continue to rain, uh, particularly in farming communities and our villages, so that we can go and farm. Some of us were subsistence farmers, so this is the time where we go to our villages and do farming. The issue that we want to discuss is a bit sensitive, but we cannot avoid it. It concerns the children that are born in South Africa. In the previous video, we did discuss about children born to migrants, either migrants who are on asylum documents, refugees, ZEP, Lesotho special permits, and the other permits that people are using in South Africa. But this category of children that we want to talk about, like I'm saying, is a bit sensitive. I know that my friends, some of my friends who follow here will simply say, no, Comrade Mabena, these children, they are illegal, they must go back. But let's face this reality. We all know, which government acknowledges, that over the years, there's been massive corruption in the Department of Home Affairs. It's a reality. And that people have been acquiring South African documents. It's another reality that we must accept. Now, yes, there was an amnesty in 1996 and in 2010. But there are many out there that never responded to the amnesty 1996 and the 2010 amnesty. And what has been happening is that the Department of Home Affairs has been closing down the South African IDs of those individuals. So if they suspect that you are not South African, they will mark your ID. When you go to the bank will tell you that, it appears your ID has a problem. Please bring a letter from the Department of Home Affairs. And when you go to the Department of Home Affairs, they want you to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that you are South African. You need to produce your own birth record. You need to provide school reports, the schools that you attended at primary. They want you to provide them with the copies of your parents' IDs. If they are late, their death certificates. You need to provide copies of your own siblings. And in the most cases, people would bribe or used to bribe an official at Home Affairs. They will get a South African ID. They will not know the family that they are being donated to. It's a reality. You will not even know who your parents are or alleged parents are. The downside of it is that there were children then who were born, registered under those IDs. Some got birth certificates under those IDs. The parents did then not respond to the amnesty, either in 1996 or in 2010. And the ID is now blocked. And the parents or parent cannot provide the proof that they are South African. Some have been paying thousands of rands to officials at Home Affairs, hoping that they will unlock or unblock the ID, with no success. And the ID remains blocked. So then a child born, registered under this ID, when they now apply for their own ID, they are now 16, 17. They cannot apply for an ID because the parents are no longer in the population registry. So when a child goes to the Department of Home Affairs, they provide all the proof that they are born in South Africa. But then the question would be, who are your parents? And the parents do not appear in the population registry. And the child cannot get a South African ID. The child did not get a Zimbabwean birth certificate when they were born. They got a South African birth certificate using that fraudulently acquired ID. But now they can't get an ID of their own. And this is a crisis. So a child born, say in 2000, if a child born in 2000 is now 22, is an adult, is supposed to be getting married or completing university or has already completed university. But because the parents' IDs are blocked and the parents did not respond to the amnesty, they have this serious challenge. They can't proceed with their own studies. Because for you to register at a university or college, you need a South African ID. If you say you are a South African, without an ID, you cannot register. In any case, you cannot even pick up your matric certificate. So you have a 22-year-old who is sitting at home, who is stateless. So we are producing stateless children, or who are now adults. It's a crisis. I started by saying that it's a sensitive matter, but we must confront it, because we always get this in our offices, people inquiring. It is different from those that responded to the amnesty, because if you responded to the amnesty, you have your confirmation letter from the Department of Home Affairs, which is issued at head office. It's a different matter altogether, because you have shifted all your properties or assets to your Zimbabwean passport. That's not a problem. If you responded to the amnesty, that's not a problem. That was the purpose of the amnesty. But if you did not, for whatever reasons, but the children are now suffering, they can't proceed with their own education. So we have in our communities stateless children. you now can't go back to Zimbabwe to say, no, my child was born in South Africa, because the records that were used by you as a parent when the child was born were South African records or documents. And in most cases, people use a different name. Just as an example, someone will say, I'm Phumzile Khumalo, South African, born in KwaNongoma. But their real Zimbabwean name is Stateless Fund. So you can't then take the Phumzile Khumalo to Zimbabwe, that identity, and say, this is my child, because I was using a fraudulent South African ID, so therefore process the birth certificate of my child and grant my child a Zimbabwean citizenship. That's a challenge. So you have a child who's rejected because there are no records that they were born to a Zimbabwean parent based in South Africa. So they can't apply for citizenship in Zimbabwe. There are no records in the population register about their own parents. So they can't apply for IDs, South African IDs. They are stateless. We live with them in our communities. There are many such individuals. So we thought we needed to raise this. As I said, that it's a sensitive matter. I know the usual crew will say, Comrade Mabena, you are mad. They must just go back. They are not Zimbabweans. There's no proof that their parents are Zimbabwean, because the documents that the parents used are South African documents which were acquired fraudulently. And again, they cannot be granted South African citizenship because it is not known who their parents are. And those documents were acquired fraudulently, and the parents did not respond to an amnesty granted by the South African government. So we thought, let's raise this question. We have no solution on how we should deal with this. We have no proposal from our end. You might have a proposal yourself. On our end, we don't have a proposal. But those that responded to the amnesty in 2010, we always advise them on what to do. This is why I'm saying they have no problem. But the problem is with those parents that now their IDs are blocked. Now, when your ID is blocked, it means you cannot have access to your money in the banks. Maybe you own a house in Midrand, your ID is now blocked, you are paying a bond. Upon finishing paying a bond, you can't get you can't go to the deeds office to get your title deed to your property because you have no ID. It is blocked. You can't renew your driver's license. You can't renew the disc of your vehicle. There are many in this category. Last time I checked, we were approached by about 300 people or so. And we've always said, we have no solution. We don't know what to do. while we might not worry much about the parents because it was their decision not to respond to the amnesty. It's their decision. Whether they lose property or whatever happens to them is their decision. But our hearts goes out to the innocent children of these parents. One gets reminded by a verse in the Bible, I can't remember, it talks about sins of our fathers. That parents came to South Africa, acquired fraudulent IDs. When an amnesty was declared, they did not respond. The kids were young, they could not do anything because they were just young. And now they are old. They can't progress in life. So the Bible speaks about sins of their fathers. And this seems to be the case. As I'm saying that, we don't have a solution. But we are raising him so that we can have a conversation to say, how do we assist such children? We are not worried about parents because parents decided not to respond to the amnesty. So we are not worried about them. And I've always said this to them, that look, an amnesty was granted and you decided not to respond to the amnesty, we can't assist. But if you responded to the amnesty in 2010, yes, we assist. Because the amnesty was granted to you. You followed the rules as they were. So every corner we have to assist you to sort out your life together with your family. But if you did not, it's difficult, we can't. But now, the kids that are involved. So you might want to share with us, you might have a solution yourself. Please write in the comment section. Please circulate this video. And please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, have a great day. Goodbye.